have a Street Fighter crop top on. I got this from my twin and I've never worn it till today. I just felt like it. Hey y'all, it's Arixia coming at you from my computer, and this just so happens to be the first video in a very long time because I have been busy with life and existing and doing a billion and one things, and this is like the new place. This is my first video in the new place. Ignore my bed, it's not made up or anything, it's just kind of naked back there. So yeah, anyway, with everything that's going on, I have been busy trying to get my life back together, and then now I have started reading again, which has been the best. I always highly recommend reading when I am sad, and even more so when I'm doing too many things at once, which is pretty much has been my life the past few weeks. So yeah, new existence, new place, new spot that I'm probably gonna film from now on because the light is so good right here, right now. Pretty much, you guys, what I've been going through is a lot of reading smut. I've been needing to read it because I need to laugh and I need to, you know, like when you're really stressed out. And I don't know if anybody else is a big mood reader like me, but I am for sure. Tons of smut had to be read. So honestly, I've read 6, going on 7 right now, but it's actually supposed to be 8 because I need to finish the 6th book in this series, and I up and decided to just randomly read this entire series because I could not put it down. And it's not, you know, the most well-written series ever in life. It's not life-changing. It's not all 5 stars or anything like that, because I don't think I've ever read a series that's all 5 stars. Let me just be honest here. Nah, no series I've ever read has ever been 5 stars. Not every book, because every book can't always be a hit, which is fine. But what I've been reading as of lately has been, I just want to give you guys like a little bitty update, just a quick, you know, talk about what I've been reading lately. It's called the Bonds That Tie series. So what's been going on is basically the Bonds That Tie, it's a reverse harem. It's a very smutty reverse harem, to be honest, but it has a good, I feel like it genuinely has a really good balance of smut versus plot, which I feel like is pretty tricky for most people. Whenever they tend to write reverse harems, they tend to be very like spoofy and like so ridiculous that it's psychotic and really odd, and I'm just like, child, like the exaggeration I'm not here for. I don't need things to be so over dramatized in a book, if that makes sense. Like I feel like the personalities and stuff are always like super over dramatized, and the only time I ever really read about or even like watch anything involving like a reverse harem, it's always the guys all falling all over themselves for the sake of the girl, and I'm just like, okay, that's not what this was. And I really liked that about it. I liked that each guy had like their own interaction with her, and it was just very different. A lot of the guys were very different from each other. They genuinely only had one agreement, and it was that they wanted to like keep her safe and crap like that, but at the same time she could kick all of their asses, so it was like even better. Anyway, the Bonds That Tie, I'd easily give, just like range wise, 2.5 to 3.5 is probably the range for those books to me. 2.5 to 3.5 stars. Nothing like crazy, no 5-star type. No. I wasn't so involved and crazy about them. I was just like, this is something to read. This is something to read on the plane. Great. But anyway, awesome possum, all that stuff. Anyway, these guys have pretty much, I feel like I don't really need to explain it. It's like if you really want to read it, you can. I would say to read it only if it's something that, you know, you just want to kill time. You know, when you want to read something but you don't necessarily want to be so invested in it, it feels like that. Like it feels like a low stakes fantasy kind of vibe, but it's really not low stakes. It's pretty heavy on the stakes, honestly, but I I feel like it's one of those ones where, just like with how I was reading, what was it called? Because I think I read all 5 books within 5 days, to be honest. I don't think it took me that long to read them. Yeah, because like I finished the first 4 super easy, teeter-tottered, and I've been like, the last 2 I've been like teeter-tottering and loosely reading here and there. But I ended up reading, what is it called? Just because like I said, I'm still on the 6th book and I'm like 70% through it, and it, like I said, it's not a wow type of series. It's just something to read. If that makes sense. Like, it's just something to kill time, to just read. And I think actually it does a pretty good job of being a good amount of plot, a good amount of smut, a good amount of everything in between. I just liked it. I was like, okay, this is not terrible. This isn't the best writing in the entire world, that's for sure, but not terrible. I think last time I even was saying anything about books, I was reading like Carmilla, and I read House of Hollow, which I think I gave like 3 stars to, because it's a good book. I think I may read more horror from here on out because of House of Hollow and, you know, everything. But for sure, Carmilla was just kind of a letdown, because to me, I didn't get the, yeah, I gave it 2 stars. I gave Carmilla 2 stars because it did not give me the joy, excitement, and everything that I needed from this book. I didn't. I was like, I was ready to cry, I was ready to be sad, I was ready to be upset, I wanted all of that, and I didn't get that. And then I was like, this is what inspired Dracula? Like, this was the first actual like vampire type of story before we really like got into vampires as being a like main. Oh my gosh, my neighbor's cat is in their window and it's so cute. Okay, anyway. Anyway, like I said, another one that I read recently was You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, which, I'm sorry, this is gonna be a major spoiler, but just like, I really went into this book blind and not knowing what it was really about, but just knowing that it was an Akwaeke Emezi book, and I've been really wanting to read some of her books. Anyway, I really wanted to read, I think it was Freshwater. I tried reading before and I just wasn't in the like literary fiction dark mood that I should have been in to be able to finish that one, because it was really, really, really sad. Death of Your Beauty, I winded up giving that book 3 stars because it started off so good. I was so excited because I was just like, oh my gosh, I missed this, and I haven't felt like this since I finished reading Blood Like Fate, Blood Like Magic, those books. And when I was reading Luster, I felt like this too, and then I realized, oh duh, it's because I'm a black girl reading a book about a black character. That's probably, and they say a lot of, and of course, you know, they're gonna say a lot of things that I recognize, like culture-wise and all that kind of stuff. It's just, it just fits. Like, the representation is awesome, and I love that. So I've been reading All I've Wanted, All I've Needed. I am about 50, almost 60% done with this book, and my only thing is I'm not crazy about it. I'm not too like connected to anyone in this story so far, but I do like the characters, but not substantially crazy or anything like that. Like, I just really want to read. Lately I've been kind of really wanting to read something fantasy wise that I could just really sink my teeth into, that it's just like so I ended up getting a book, and I'm gonna get it I think tomorrow, but yeah, it's just, you know what I realized? I never actually talked about the damn book that I was gonna talk about. So Akwaeke Emezi's You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. I feel like I've mentioned this previously already. However, I actually really liked that book. It was so great in the beginning, and it was just like this kinship and this, and when I say kinship, I mean like a black girl reading a black book about black characters. And I just, well actually, wait, reading a book about Nigerian characters, and also I'm pretty sure some of them were, crap, why do I not remember where it actually was? Like I don't know why, I don't feel like they ever really mentioned the name of the island that they were on, but I know they were like from an island, and it was very like the accents were very Caribbean sounding. I don't know. I don't want to be wrong, but I feel like I might be. I don't want to offend anyone, but that book, when I tell you everything that she was doing in the beginning, I was so excited for it. I was just like, okay girl, like she getting it, she living life. Faye's just, you know, she's a little I felt like she was just such a believable character. Like everything that she went through with like her husband and watching him die and all of that other stuff, and then it just made sense. Like so much of the book just, it flowed so right, and it was just such a good progression until it got to the dad part. That part, I was just like, really? It's not like like it's not quite taboo, but it like it borderline that for me, and I was just like, okay, this is too close, because I'm like, she was literally just making out with his son, like literally just made out with his son, and then she totally got the hots for his dad, and it was like, girl, really? Like, you sure? Because, and as I'm saying this, I remember specifically telling Twin that like it was so good up until it got to her getting like the hots for his dad, and then I was just like, there is no way. Okay, yeah, this battery's about to die, so out. But yeah, that was kind of it. So 3 stars. The dad thing really didn't do it for me, sorry. But yeah, outside of that, it was a very well written book. I did really like it a lot. I did not care for the romance between the dad and Faye. I understood where they were coming from, totally got that, totally supported it. However, it just took me for such a ride in my head that it was so distracting from actually reading the book and enjoying it, because had he been just some random man, I'd have been like, okay, like fine, that makes sense. But this was homeboy's dad, this was her friend's dad, and I'm like, that is so ugh. Like, it's so weird. And they tried to fight it for so long. Y'all were only around each other for like 3 weeks. Like, come on, like really? I was like I said, it's a 3-star book to me, but overall just the romance of it, of like what was supposed to make them like such a good couple, I understood all of those aspects, but also not really. Like I felt like it wasn't as concrete as the other relationships. I feel like everything else made sense, everything else was so well splayed out. It just felt really rushed towards the end, where it's just like, oh, we want to like just wrap this up real quick, and that's what it felt like. It was just like, this was really rushed, and it just kind of like ended with him with Faye and what's his face going to her place together, because he was like, oh, okay, I'll just come with you, and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And like that's the end of the book, and I was just like, really? All right, okay, yeah, I guess. I was like, I want to read her other books. Yeah, I do, because I'm like, I want to read her other books for sure, because I have heard way too much about her as an author, and I'm just very excited for the rest of her discography. I really am. I kind of really want to read, I think it's The Life of, or The Death of Vivek Oji. That, I don't know why, just the title alone got me, and I was like, okay, really interested to see where that goes. But also Freshwater is another one that I really want to read. It just seems really interesting and I'm very excited for it. But yeah, okay, I'm done. I'm done now. Battery's dying, so we gonna go.